Part 10. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 91. Zhang Chen went downstairs, walked around the lobby of Wanghai International Hotel, and sat for a while. He felt a sense of pride in his heart. He thought with some pride, next, this will be my world. I'm here to change everything in this building. It feels so good. Zhang Chen looked at it intentionally, but did not find Ji Unqiang in the lobby. If Ji Unqiang was there, he would be very willing to share it with him, although he himself did not know what he wanted to share. He looked at Minkan outside the door. Sunshine, Zhang Chen himself couldn't help but laugh. It was daytime now, Ji Unqiang and Jia were still doing homework. How could he see Ji Unqiang here? Zhang Chen felt that he might not want to see Ji Unqiang, but anyone he knew, and Ji Unqiang was the most likely to appear here. Zhang Chen suddenly thought of the clerk in the stationery store in Hangzhou when he was in junior high school. He gave himself a sketchbook and a picture folder, and said to himself, I am going to be transferred back to Hangzhou and I will leave here tomorrow. I am very happy. I hope you can share my happiness. After so many years, Zhang Chen only understands today what this happiness is. I wonder what happened to this clerk after he was transferred back to Hangzhou. I wonder if he will continue to be happy in Hangzhou. Zhang Chen really wanted to go to the service desk, call Jin Lily, and tell her that I had decided to come to Mr. Fu and renovate Wanghai Tower. After taking one step forward, Zhang Chen took 2 steps back. Thinking that it would be a bad idea to go to the service desk to make such a call, he turned around and walked out. Zhang Chen walked out of the door. The bright sunshine carried a heat wave and hit Zhang Chen's face suddenly. Although it was already December, the afternoon sun in Haikan was still very strong. Zhang Chen was suddenly exposed to the sun, but he almost laughed. He felt that this city had never been so friendly and so close to him as it was today, and he had truly integrated into it. Haixia Road, this will be my Haixia Road. I walk on this road every day, to and from get off work. My company is in Wenming East and my construction site is on Haixia Road. He looked back at the lobby of Wanghai Hotel and said goodbye to it in his heart, as if it would be demolished tomorrow. Zhang Chen saw countless oars gathering one by one to form a tree, spreading towards a vortex formed on the top of the high ceiling, and small waves spread out. This will be, yes, this will be my hotel. Zhang Chen almost laughed again. He saw a cigarette shop opposite with a public phone sign, so he passed through the traffic. He first called Lu Ligan and then hung up the phone to Jin Lily. What are you doing? Jin Lily said lazily on the phone. I just left Mr. Fu's place, Zhang Chen said. What? What are you doing? Jin Lily immediately became alert. Zhang Chen, don't be dizzy. Zhang Chen tried hard not to laugh. He said, oh, I can't help it. I've said it all, and it's too late to regret it now. Zhang Chen, what did you say to Mr. Fu? Didn't we agree to tell me first if we have decided? Hey, Zhang Chen, what nonsense are you talking about? Jin Lily asked anxiously. I just told him that I agreed to come here. Oh, should I go back and regret it? Zhang Chen said. No, 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 Zhang Chen, did you really agree to go to Mr. Fu's company? Yes, I have the company's business license in my bag now, and I probably won't be able to get it back, Zhang Chen said. Oh, great. Zhang Chen, you are awesome. I knew you wouldn't let me down, Jin Lily shouted. Zhang Chen heard Lao Bao on the phone saying, what are you doing? Go away, I want you to take care of it, Jin Lily scolded, and then immediately shouted, Zhang Chen, I am not scolding you, I am scolding Lao Bao. I heard it, Zhang Chen said with a smile, come back tonight and let's celebrate. Okay, I'll come back after taking leave, Jin Lily shouted happily and hung up the phone. As soon as Zhang Chen put down the phone rang. Zhang Chen quickly picked up the phone. "Hello, who is this?" Lu Ligan asked on the phone. "Me, your father," Zhang Chen scolded. "Holy shit, where's the phone number?" "Where did you go?" Lu Ligan asked. "Across from Wanghai Tower, I just came to tell Mr. Fu that I couldn't decide to come." "Zhang Chen, are you really humming out of your mind? What did we tell you last night and you just couldn't humming listen? Lily is right. You better go back to Yongcheng, you mother. Not suitable for coming to Hainan." Before Zhang Chen finished speaking, Lu Ligan started to curse loudly. Zhang Chen couldn't help it anymore and burst into laughter. Hearing Zhang Chen's laughter, Lu Ligan stopped scolding him and said suspiciously, "You humming lied to me? You didn't go to Mr. Fu to tell you. I was really opposite Wanghai Tower, and I really talked to Mr. Fu, but I promised him to come over," Zhang Chen said. Lu Ligan also laughed on the phone. He said, "Okay, good deception. I just like being deceived by you like this. Go back early in the evening. Let's cook by the stove. I'll go buy groceries and Lily will come back too," Zhang Chen said. Lu Ligan said yes, and Zhang Chen was about to hang up the phone when Lu Ligan asked, "Are you going back to the Northeast restaurant yet? I'm nearby. If you want to go back, I'll go there to find you later." "Okay, come here, I'll go back now." After hanging up the phone, Zhang Chen looked at the cigarettes on the counter and asked the boss to get him a 3-5. He thought about it and said, "Take 2, no, let's get 3. The boss gave Zhang Chen 3 pieces of 35. Zhang Chen asked how much it cost in total, cigarettes and phone. The boss said 309, and there was no charge for phone calls. Zhang Chen went to BusinessManagement first and gave each of the 3 squad leaders a pack of cigarettes. The squad leader asked what good things happened today. Zhang Chen smiled and said nothing. He walked around the entire construction site. This project is small and it is not easy to find mistakes. However, Zhang Chen still told several squad leaders to do the work more carefully. After all, people will live here in the future. If the work is not done well, I was scolded behind my back every day, my ears were red all day long, and I didn't know who was scolded. After leaving BusinessManagement, Zhang Chen went to the Northeast restaurant. From the storage box of his motorcycle, he took out a Sanwu and the remaining 7 packs of cigarettes. When he arrived at the construction site, Zhang Chen gave each of the 5 squad leaders a bag of 3 to 5 bags, and 2 bags to give to the workers. After a while, the idiot wandered back. Zhang Chen gave him a pack of cigarettes. The idiot asked curiously, "What for? Why are you giving me cigarettes for no reason?" Mr. Tan told Zhang Chen that he would not tell anyone about his departure from the company for the time being. Of course, he could not tell the second-rate guy. Zhang Chen shouted, "Do you want it? If you don't want me to take it back." "Of course I do. How could I not want the cigarettes that the instructor gave me?" the second-rate guy shouted. The second guy put the cigarette under his arm. Before he could walk out of the door, Lu Ligan came. Lu Ligan stared at the cigarette under the second guy's arm and shouted, "Mom, San Wuo, you're doing well. How about it? Do you want to see me?" Without being verbose, he opened the outer box of a pack of cigarettes, poured out 2 packs and stuffed them into his left trouser pocket, then poured out 2 more packs and stuffed them into his right trouser pocket, and finally poured out another pack and stuffed them into his right trouser pocket. He put it into his shirt pocket and stuffed the remaining 5 packs of cigarettes, together with the box outside, into Lu Ligan. Lu Ligan walked in and saw Zhang Chen smiling at him. Lu Ligan shook the cigarette in his hand and said proudly, "I'm rich." "Damn you, I was robbed before I even went out," Zhang Chen scolded. Lu Ligan was stunned for a moment and then smiled, "Okay, just think that I got half of the kickback for you, but this second-rate guy is too easy to be robbed." Zhang Chen took Lu Ligan to the Dongmen market and bought a lot of seafood. When he returned home, he saw that Jin Lily had come and was doing homework in the courtyard below. Yilin looked at their hands. He volunteered to wash the things in the fish bowl. Unexpectedly, he washed the seafood as fast as his mother. Yilin, why are you so powerful? Jin Lily asked. What's the point? My bad old dad used to fish every day. If he couldn't sell the fish, he would eat it himself. If he couldn't finish it, he would dry it in the sun. I would wash these things every day, Yilin said lightly. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan carried the table in front of their house in Yilin to the yard and said they would eat outside. Lu Ligan put the cassette stove on the table, installed the gas tank, and said to them, "You all go away, I want to start a fire. If you want to sacrifice, just sacrifice me." Jin Lily took Yilin and walked away a few steps as expected. Zhang Chen stood there and asked, "Have you finished writing your application for joining the party? You write it for me. Where is your bank book?" "I know the password anyway," Jin Lily shouted. "It's in my bag, take it yourself," Lu Ligan said. Lu Ligan lit the fire with a snap and shouted bang, which really shocked Zhang Chen, Jin Lily, and Yilin, and Lu Ligan laughed loudly. Wen Wen and Qian were lying on the railing upstairs, looking down and giggling. Jin Lily turned to look at them and called, "Little sister, come down and eat together." Wen Wen and Qian were so happy that they ran down in slippers. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Niang. Chapter 92. They overstuffed themselves again. Jin Lily originally said she wanted to go back, but now she said, "No, I can't go back. I'm afraid I'll vomit when I get in the car." Wen Wen and Qian also feel like they can't go to work. I ran to the store and called to ask for leave. Since no one is leaving, let's continue eating. You deserve to die from exhaustion. The gas tank had been replaced 7 or 8 times, and they stopped. Yilin was doing homework in the room. Yilin's mother can now eat the hospital's meals by herself, and there is no need for Yilin and the others to deliver meals. In 2 days, you can be discharged from the hospital. Wen Wen sat there and waved to them, "Sister Lily, you go up first. Qian and I will clean up here." "Oops, we can't do it anymore. We have to sit down for a while." Jin Lily said, "Okay, let's go up and take a shower first, otherwise, so many people will start fighting later." Zhang Chen, Jin Lily, and Lu Ligan went upstairs. When they passed by the door of Jian Qiang's house, Jin Lily looked at the dark room and suddenly asked, "Ding dong, are you going home for the new year?" Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan both said quickly, they didn't know. Jin Lily snorted, "You, Lu Ligan, don't know, Geixin." Lu Ligan was unconvinced and shouted, "What do you mean, what do you mean?" Jin Lily waved her hand and shouted, "No matter what, I want to be the first to take a shower." The 3 of them took a shower and sat in the corridor. Wen Wen and Qian also came up. After taking a shower, they felt that their stomachs were not so bloated. They looked at the time and saw that it was not 10 o'clock yet, so they decided to go to work. "Maybe we can even pick up a customer." Jin Lily rested her chin on the railing of the corridor, watched Wen Wen and Qian disappear at the courtyard door below, and sighed. Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Why are you sighing when people go to work? It's really not easy for these 2 little girls. They can obviously have a meal, but they have to accompany them for drinks," Jin Lily said. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan both laughed. Zhang Chen laughed at the novelty of the word Kaoshan fan, and Lu Ligan said, "Looking at your tone, Lily, it sounds like singing along is worse than ding dong." "Of course, do you think it's easy to sing along?" Jin Lily said, "I tell you, it's very hard. The men here are not human beings when they enter the KTV one by one. They are all beasts. They will not treat others as human beings. If I want you to drink, you have to drink. I have to drink until I vomit. If I want to touch you, you can't even be unhappy. These sour accounts have spent hundreds of dollars, and they think they are really your god. I feel like I should have you all over my body. Damn it, you kind of took care of me, but you don't have the strength. Ah. I despise this kind of man the most. I'm talking as if you have personal experience, Luligan cursed. I'm tired of hearing this. As soon as men get to the wine table, they'll finish 2 humming glasses of wine and all they talk about is this, no matter who is around them. Jin Lily scolded and started laughing herself. Damn it, at first I blushed after hearing it, but later I didn't bother to listen. Anyway, it's all the same. Men, only the upper body is different, but the lower body is the same damn thing. Look at all the people who were sanctimonious and well dressed when they first came in, but in the end they turned out to be beasts in attire, and their true colors will be revealed. Lily, you've hit us all, Luligan said. What do you mean I've hit you too? You're already the same kind of guy, Jin Lily scolded. It's just that Tan Shahan is pretty enough to make you immune. What about Zhang Chen? Luligan asked quickly. He is temporarily immune now, but when Zhang Chen becomes Mr. Zhang, we won't know. I have to guard against it, Jin Lily frowned and said seriously, while Zhang Chen and Luligan laughed. By the way, Zhang Chen, you are such a stubborn person, how come you are enlightened today? It's a miracle, Jin Lily asked. Zhang Chen told them about his communication with Mr. Tan this morning. Jin Lily was furious when he heard it and cursed, sure enough, damn you, you don't listen to what I say. It's the same thing as what others say, you just listened, right? No, I originally felt a little guilty towards Mr. Tan. Mr. Tan also encouraged me to go, so of course I listened, Zhang Chen said. Jin Lily was still angry and cursed, you bitch. But forget it, as long as the goal is achieved, Jin Lily added. This Mr. Tan is really smart, Luligan praised. Zhang Chen and Jin Lily were both surprised. Zhang Chen asked, why are you so smart? I've learned that this is how business should be done. It's better to pave roads and build bridges than to cut off people's wealth, Luligan said. Think about it, Zhang Chen, if you really want to go, can Mr. Tan stop you? Can you go and fight Mr. Fu? Since he can't stop it, it's better to just be a favor. Although Mr. Fu doesn't say it, everyone knows it in their hearts. In this way, if Mr. Tan comes to Mr. Fu for something in the future, Mr. Fu will give him a favor. As for you, you will be peers from now on, and your future is limitless. He is your eldest brother. From now on, if you have to work hand in hand with other projects, it will be you. With such a bad character, he will definitely retreat, right? Look, Mr. Tan actually lost nothing, but he gained 2 big favors. As Luligan spoke, Jin Lily kept nodding and shouted, Gangzi, you really think clearly. If you do a good job, you will become a great person in the future. I am optimistic about you. Luligan laughed loudly, you'd better take an optimistic view of Zhang Chen first, he has already skyrocketed. Zhang Chen thought to himself that what Luligan said was not unreasonable, but not entirely. He felt that although Mr. Tan looked difficult to deal with on the outside, he was actually a person who valued friendship and loyalty, not only for himself, but also for others. He can also see the second-hand goods. Zhang Chen, show us that business license, Luligan said. Zhang Chen remembered that it was not only the business license, but also other things that he forgot to show to them. He got up and ran downstairs, taking his backpack and the cigarette from the storage box of the motorcycle. Coming up, he patted the cigarette into Luligan's arms, and Luligan shouted. That's great. Is it for me? Zhang Chen is right. Luligan smiled and said, I thought the commander had it, but I didn't. Where's my gift? Jin Lily stretched out her hand and called. Zhang Chen chuckled and said, I bought the cigarettes at the place where I was on the phone. I didn't expect to buy any gifts. Jin Lily snorted, don't quibble. Then I'll give you this. Zhang Chen patted the money into Jin Lily's hand. Jin Lily grabbed it and shouted excitedly, "Where did it come from?" Zhang Chen said Mr. Fu gave it to me and said it was pocket money for me. Great, Jin Lily exclaimed, this boss is worth hanging out with. Lu Ligan said disdainfully, she is indeed a woman. What's wrong with the woman? Jin Lily said unconvinced. A famous writer once said that even if a woman quarrels with you, as long as you put money in front of her, she will still take it away, Lu Ligan said. Yeah, that makes sense. Jin Lily kept nodding, you just need to pay me and come and quarrel every day. Zhang Chen wondered, which famous writer is so boring? Me, I am this writer, Lu Ligan said with a smile. Zhang Chen showed them the BB camera again, and both of them shouted, it's from Hangxian. Is this also given by Mr. Fu? Jin Lily asked. Zhang Chen nodded, and Jin Lily smiled and said, Zhang Chen, it seems that you have hugged a big tree. Lu Ligan spread his hands, raised his head to the sky, and shouted, Lord, it's already 10,001 years. Come hit me, Lu Ligan, with another pie. Jin Lily called Zhang Chen, come here, why don't you hang up? She hung the BB camera on Zhang Chen's waist, hanging it together with the original one. The Chinese display one was twice as big as the original one, and the screen on it was also twice as big, and it still faced outwards. Yes, Jin Lily tilted her head and looked at it for a while, then praised, what this man shows is his magnificence. Lu Ligan looked at it for a while and thought it was good. He said, why don't you just keep hanging on? Zhang Chen said to him, Mr. Tan still asked me to keep it a secret. I want to go to the construction site now, and they are so boring to ask questions, so I might as well put it in the bag. Yes, Lu Ligan nodded, anyway, if anything happens, I will send you a text directly, and you don't need to call me back. Lu Ligan stood up and walked towards the stairs. Zhang Chen asked what he was going for. Lu Li didn't turn his head back, raised his right hand and shouted, go play billiards and save my lost heart. Do I have enough time for you to give you 5 sets of billiards? Not enough, we have to fight for 300 rounds. Don't come back tonight, Jin Lily shouted. Lu Ligan's voice came from the stairs, women are shameless and God is ashamed. Lord, please save these lost lambs. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 93. Zhang Chen set a rule for himself. When he was at work during the day, he would go all out and keep an eye on the 2 construction sites. Although the villa in Baishamen would not be completed this year and Mr. Tan did not ask him to keep an eye on it, Zhang Chen believed that, this is your own job, you have to do it well, and you must not give Mr. Tan the feeling that if you want to leave, you will deal with it carelessly. Every morning, Zhang Chen would first report to the company, and then go to the 2 construction sites of Baishamen and Dongbei Restaurant. The northeastern restaurant is finishing the work. It's all fine work. Zhang Chen is watching very closely. Even Mr. Li thinks he is too strict. In fact, there are many places where you can go carelessly. Isn't it just a canteen? This canteen is comparable to the one in their forest farm. The cafeteria is much more upscale. Only in the evening, when he returns home, will Zhang Chen start the design work of Wanghai Tower. At noon that day, Xiao Su came to him and asked him to sign a construction and decoration contract. It was the first project, the additional story of Wanghai Mall. Zhang Chen knew that this was just a formality. The official seals of Party A and Party B had been stamped on this contract, and the amount on it had also been filled in. All that was missing was his signature. After signing the contract, Xiao Su told him, okay, you can design this layer now. Zhang Chen was dumbfounded by what he said. Where else in the world could there be such a project? The design only started after the contract was signed. Zhang Chen asked if there were any special requirements. Xiao Su said that there were some in the actual construction. You should not reflect them on the drawings, but you should leave enough space. This is particularly important. It turned out that Mr. Fu requested that a secret room of 50 or 60 square meters be added to his office and bedroom. The door of the secret room was behind the cabinet in Mr. Fu's office. The cabinet was required to be movable and the ventilation inside the secret room should be good. Zhang Chen understood that this was used to store something, so he didn't ask in detail. He knew that it would be useless to ask in detail. Xiao Su had already told him that as long as the space was left aside, there would be a construction team when the construction started. The team came from Guangzhou and went back after finishing the work. Only Zhang Chen on the construction site knew about this matter. Before Xiao Su left, he gave Zhang Chen 2 pages of paper and said to him, "Just take a look and get a rough idea. Just have an idea." Zhang Chen looked at it and saw an introduction from Heiken Panchi Decoration Co., Ltd. A new company currently has no one except Zhang Chen, but it is described as a strong enterprise. It specifically mentioned a Shanghai Panchi Decoration Co., Limited, saying that it undertook the 5-star hotel in Shanghai, the Portman Hotel renovation project. Although it is not stated directly, anyone who reads this introduction will think that Heiken Panchi Decoration Co., Limited is a branch of this company in Shanghai. It seems that the name Panchi was not chosen casually, but was deliberately chosen to be close to Shanghai. The thighs of this house. This kind of operation opened Zhang Chen's eyes. Although he felt a little uncomfortable, he took the attitude that it had nothing to do with him. He just felt that Mr. Tan's behavior was considered doing business, while Mr. Fu's behavior was more like conspiracy. Lu Ligan told him that you are wrong. The bigger the business, the more conspiracy. In this world, most of the business is done this way. Zhang Chen was too lazy to pay attention to him and buried himself in his own design. The design of the office area was quickly completed. Apart from Mr. Fu's office and living room, there really wasn't much room for free play. A public unit should always look like a public unit, so it just needs to be designed in a regular way. In Mr. Fu's office, Zhang Chen designed the greeters and waiters at the door into the room. Outside Mr. Fu's office, a small room was set up to set up a front desk, where the greeters and waiters would sit. More formal, less ostentatious, and exaggerated. There are still 2/3 of the business area. In addition to the sporting goods that need to be moved up, Mr. Fu and the others have not thought about what other products can be moved up. The reason why the sporting goods have to be moved up is because the people selling sporting goods are too noisy. Those who come to buy treadmills and table tennis tables have to try out running and playing games when they arrive, and there are a lot of people cheering around. The other counters around here couldn't stand it anymore, and as soon as they heard that it was going to be expanded, they all suggested moving the sporting goods upstairs. Mr. Fu gave Zhang Chen free rein and asked him to see if there were any products that matched the field of sporting goods and design them upstairs. Zhang Chen went to Wanghai Mall for a few times. Apart from selling sportswear, he couldn't think of anything suitable to move there. Zhang Chen felt hungry, so he stood at the entrance of Wanghai Mall and looked around, but couldn't find anything nearby. What snack bar? Zhang Chen suddenly had an idea. He thought, why not set up a snack area on the 3rd floor? People who are tired of shopping in the mall can go up to eat, and those who have finished eating can go shopping in the mall. Zhang Chen remembered that he had read in a book that a foreign supermarket had such a design. Especially in Heiken at that time, big hotels didn't know how to prepare snacks. Those who did serve snacks were roadside shops. The conditions were very simple and they didn't even have air conditioning. Just eating a bowl of noodle soup or rice with pig's feet would make you covered in stinky sweat. If only there was such a place, Sichuan people could eat chow chow and small noodles, Wuhan people could eat hot dry noodles, Henan people could eat braised noodles and spicy soup, Shanghai people could eat wontons and steamed buns, and northeastern people could eat dumplings and leek boxes, Xi'an people eat steamed buns and mutton soup, Cantonese people eat rice rolls, Hainan people eat pig's trotter rice and bailuo noodles, Guilin people eat rice noodles. Does that mean it will gather a lot of popularity? As for shopping malls, isn't the most important thing the most important thing? Zhang Chen thought of this and drew it. In addition to sports equipment and sportswear, the third floor is a snack area, and neither of them is afraid that the other will disturb him. Zhang Chen handed in the design draft, and the next day, Xiao Su sent a message to Zhang Chen, asking him to go to the catering service company for a meeting in the afternoon. Zhang Chen asked Mr. Tan for leave and went over. This time he was not in Mr. Fu's office, but in the conference room. In addition to Mr. Fu, there were 3 or 4 other people. Zhang Chen saw that his design drawing was hanging on the wall of the conference room. Mr. Fu asked Zhang Chen to introduce his design concepts and ideas. Zhang Chen told them his ideas. Mr. Fu agreed, "Mr. Zhang, you are not a designer, you are involved in our management." Zhang Chen said, "Our designs are originally designed to serve customers' business activities. If our designs can improve customers' performance and add icing on the cake, this is what we want." "Well said," Mr. Fu said, "look, this is the first-class decoration company in the country. It's just different. It can't be compared to the Tuba Road in Haikan." Zhang Chen secretly laughed in his heart. When did he, a polished commander, become the first-class decoration company in the country? He thought of the 2 pages Xiao Su gave him, and knew that Mr. Fu had pulled off the tiger skin for himself to silence others. But what Zhang Chen didn't know was that their decision at the time was actually a pioneering work in the department store industry across the country. That is, they were probably the first department store to move catering into their stores. Later, many department stores across the country department stores all organize group tours to Hainan based on visiting and learning the business model of Wanghai Mall. Of course, this is another story. At that time, someone present suggested that catering in department stores did not seem to be done in this country yet. What are you afraid of? We just have to dare to be the first in the world. We do what others don't do. We also do what others dare not do. Who makes us a special zone? Mr. Fu used a series of exclamation points to silence the questioning voices pressed down. After the meeting at the catering service company, Zhang Chen returned to the company. Not long after he sat down, Mr. Tan called him. He hurried to Mr. Tan's office. Mr. Tan asked him how he was doing. Zhang Chen knew that Mr. Tan was asking about the design of the mall. After Zhang Chen finished the design, he showed the manuscript to Mr. Tan. After reading it, Mr. Tan also admired Zhang Chen's idea. He told Zhang Chen that they would see if Halu dared to do it. If they dared to do it, the next step will be a direction, and other shopping malls will follow suit. Zhang Chen nodded and said he passed. Mr. Tan sighed, "You have to admire this old fox named Fu. This guy still has courage." Zhang Chen returned to his seat and heard the BB player in his bag beeping. Zhang Chen looked left and right, secretly took out the Hangxian BB player and looked at it. The message was from Xiao Su, and the content was: "Mr. Fu invites you to have dinner together tonight. We will pick you up at the Northeast restaurant at 6 o'clock. Zhang Chen knew that this was a work meal once a week, and it was about the mall. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 94. Zhang Chen looked at the time. It was almost 6 o'clock. He handed the motorcycle key to the monitor of the painting team. Lu Ligan would pick it up from him after a while. Zhang Chen walked to the door and stood for a while. The car that blocked him that night arrived. Xiao Su was driving today and there was no one else in the car. After Zhang Chen got in the car, he briefly exchanged greetings with Xiao Su. Xiao Su said, "Let's go pick up Mr. Fu." The car drove to the gate of Wanghai Hotel and stopped. The doorman recognized the car and walked over quickly. Xiao Su told him to call Mr. Fu and tell him that I had arrived. After 7 or 8 minutes, Mr. Fu came out of the gate and got into the car. Xiao Su started the car. They turned from Haixia Road to Shenfu Road and kept driving. Zhang Chen initially thought they were going to Daowen Hotel, but after passing Daowen Hotel, Xiao Lu had no intention of slowing down and kept going. Zhang Chen was a little confused. Where are we going? He remembered that after passing the Daowen Hotel, there were no big hotels along the way. Xiao Su drove the entire provincial road to Qiangshan. Seeing that there was the Wujiang temple in front of him, Xiao Su slowly slowed down. Stopped by the roadside. Mr. Fu and Xiao Su said, "I will hold you captive and you will pick me up again." Xiao Su nodded, and Mr. Fu and Zhang Chen got out of the car. Zhang Chen saw a 2-story house on the roadside. The house was not big, but very neat and clean. It was close to a 6-story building next to it. There were 7 or 8 luxury cars parked in front of the house. There was no signboard on the house, so it was hard to tell what was going on inside. Once inside, Zhang Chen felt that this was probably a hotel. He smelled the smell of the dishes, and also heard the sound of the blower and the sound of the horse spoon clinking with the pot. Unlike other small hotels on the roadside, this hotel does not have dine-in dining. There are private rooms upstairs and downstairs. Zhang Chen could vaguely hear the joy of changing glasses in the private rooms. A waiter saw them, smiled and nodded, quickly opened the glass door on one side and walked in. After a while, the sound of the clinking of spoons and pots stopped. A man of about 40 years old came out from the glass door, wearing a white chef's hat. When he saw Mr. Fu, he quickly nodded and bowed, "Master, you coming?" Mr. Fu waved his left hand holding the big brother and said to him, "Go and do your work. I'll go up by myself." The chef was still standing, waiting for Mr. Fu and Zhang Chen to pass by, and he followed behind. Zhang Chen thought he was going upstairs. Unexpectedly, Mr. Fu took him through a door and walked into the yard behind the house. The yard was not big, and 1/3 of it was taken up by a shed with fiberglass tiles. There is a 3-story glass seafood pool and a cement pool with tiles covered with turtles. The other 2/3 is a neatly kept garden. There is a camphor tree in the yard, which casts a shadow over the entire yard. If it is midsummer at noon, it will definitely feel extra cool here. At the end of the garden, there is a stainless steel spiral staircase. On the other side of the staircase, it leads to the second floor of the 6-story building next door. Mr. Fu took Zhang Chen to the stairs, waved to the chef again, and said to him, "You make arrangements." The chef said, "Okay, master, please go away." Then he walked back. They walked to the door upstairs. The door opened. Inside the door was a very beautiful girl. She smiled at Mr. Fu and nodded to Zhang Chen. She took him from Mr. Fu's hand. "Big brother." Zhang Chen walked through the door and discovered that it was a simply decorated ordinary suite. Different from ordinary homes, there is no sofa in the living room, only a tea table and a small round table, which should be used for eating. Mr. Fu and Zhang Chen sat down on both sides of the tea table. The girl, like the waitress in Mr. Fu's office, completed a set of procedures skillfully. After pouring tea for them, she retreated to a room and closed the door. "This place is where we will have our work meals from now on. It's a bit shabby, but it's more convenient and casual than in a hotel, and it's less crowded." Mr. Fu smiled. "That person just now, is Mr. Fu's apprentice?" Zhang Chen asked. "Hey, it happened many years ago. It's not good enough. A chef of the second level cannot stay in the workplace well. He must go out and do it by himself. I can't help it. However, he does a pretty good job. Don't look at him like this. A small shop can make hundreds of thousands of goods a month," Mr. Fu said. Zhang Chen was shocked. The average daily turnover was more than 30,000 yuan. He really couldn't tell. No wonder all the high-end luxury cars were parked at the door. From his attitude towards Mr. Fu and the way Mr. Fu spoke, Jiang Chen also understood that this was by no means an incompetent apprentice, but the person closest to Mr. Fu. Perhaps Mr. Fu had single-handedly led this store. That's why Mr. Fu brings people and things that are inconvenient to appear in the office here to deal with them. Let's not talk about him, let's talk about our own business. The plan has been passed. Construction can start as soon as the new year is over. Before the new year, you can order all the materials you need, Mr. Fu said. Jiang Chen said yes. I have something to explain. My small room requires a budget of about 250,000 yuan. When you make a budget, put it into other projects without mentioning a word about it. Mr. Fu said. Of course, Jiang Chen knew that the small room he was talking about was the secret room. A room of 50 square meters cost 250,000, so it was not just about ventilation. As for putting the money into other things, this is the same as leaving space but not showing it on the drawing. Because the project budget, as a decoration company, must be provided to Party A. Jiang Chen nodded and said, I understand. Also, don't show it in our internal accounts. You can make up another name. Anyway, the old woman is an amateur at decoration. She won't understand it if you write it, Mr. Fu said. Jiang Chen said yes. This is to hide it from Party A and the family, and I don't know what this old fox wants to put there. Come here, have some tea, Xiao Zhang. From now on, every time I tell you to have a work lunch, just come here and wait for me. We will discuss the above-mentioned matters in the office, Mr. Fu said with a smile. Jiang Chen said yes and quickly picked up the teacup. He knew that he had to explain what he had to explain, and he had already finished explaining it today. The three waiters carried the trays and served the dishes, and the chef followed. After the waiters left, he was still standing behind Mr. Fu. Mr. Fu tasted every dish and gave his opinion. The chef was respectful. I kept saying that I understand, master, without even a word of defense. After the chef also left, Mr. Fu raised his voice and shouted, Xiaoning, Xiaozhao, come out to eat. The two doors opened and two girls walked out. The two girls looked very similar. I wonder if they were sisters. One of them was the one I had seen before. She walked over and sat next to Mr. Fu naturally. The other one looked at her and then went to sit next to Jiang Chen. The one sitting next to Mr. Fu was Xiaoning, and the one sitting next to Jiang Chen was Xiaozhao. The two girls kept talking and laughing, pouring wine for them and themselves. What they drank was Shanlin wine from the Li ethnic group that had turned black in color. Mr. Fu and Jiang Chen said that this wine had been buried underground in clay pots for many years. My apprentice drove to Li village to collect it. The Li people called it is Biang wine. This word is difficult to write and cannot be found in the dictionary. Xiao Ning didn't believe it and said that there were words that couldn't be found in the dictionary. Mr. Fu turned a chopstick upside down, dipped wine in the wine glass, and wrote on the table. While writing, he kept chanting. One point pokes up to the sky, and the yellow river bends at both ends. The mouth is wide open, and Yang Guan walks up. You twist, I twist, and it twists 6 points and 6. The left one is long, the right one is long, and there is a horse king in the middle. Heart at the bottom of the word, next to the word month, there are hooks and sesame candy. There are too many strokes in this word. Before the back part is finished, the front part has already been finished. Get paper and pen, get paper and pen, Mr. Fu shouted. Xiao Zhao quickly ran back to the room and took out a pen and paper. Mr. Fu wrote the word Biang for them to see. There were so many strokes that the other three people were dazzled by it. Xiao Ning said, okay, I admit that this word probably won't be in the dictionary. This word cannot be printed even if it is reduced, it is just a mess. When I was in school, if the teacher punished me by writing this word 100 times, I would have to write it until dawn, Jiang Chen said, and Xiao Ning and Xiao Zhao both laughed. Mr. Fu and Xiao Ning said, yes, yes, if you are naughty next time, I will punish you by writing this. Xiao Ning flattened her mouth and said coquettishly, they are all so well behaved, how can you, a big bad guy, be willing to punish them? After a while, Xiao Ning smiled and said, if you punish me, I will write it on your big belly. As she spoke, she stretched out her hand and pressed Mr. Fu's belly, which made Mr. Fu laugh. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 95. Mr. Fu stood up and said with a smile, the food is ready, now it's time to study. Xiao Ning also stood up and held his hand. She looked at Xiao Zhao and then at Jiang Chen, laughing. Mr. Fu and Xiao Zhao said, take good care of Mr. Jiang. After saying that, the two people entered the room. Xiao Zhao stood up and whispered to Jiang Chen, follow me. Jiang Chen was a little embarrassed and didn't know what to do. Although it was his first time to experience such a scene, he understood something in his heart. He remembered Lu Ligan's jingle and knew that this was Mr. Fu, and he wanted to establish a stronger relationship with him. Relationship, to put it bluntly, is to make him fall in love with him or become another one of his many pawns. Xiao Zhao stretched out her hand and took Jiang Chen's hand. Her hand was soft and her skin was very delicate. Jiang Chen got up in confusion and followed her. They entered Xiao Zhao's room. It was much larger than Jiang Chen imagined. In addition to a bed, there was also a sofa in the room. The balcony was covered with glass and aluminum alloy, and blackout curtains closed the room. Completely isolated from the outdoors. Where the balcony used to be, there was a raised area with a large bathtub on it. There was also a door in the room, which should be the bathroom. Xiao Zhao held Jiang Chen's hand and walked towards the double bed. When passing by the sofa, Jiang Chen broke away from her hand and sat down on the sofa. Xiao Zhao was stunned for a moment, his face flushed, and Jiang Chen's face also turned crimson. Xiao Zhao sat down on the edge of the bed and looked at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen sat on the sofa opposite, his head lowered, not daring to look at Xiao Zhao. Jiang Chen remembered Lu Ligan's statement that he would never blush again when he saw a girl in Heikan. He cursed in his heart, who the hell said he wouldn't? He felt his face burning. Xiao Zhao looked at Jiang Chen and sighed. Jiang Chen raised his head, glanced at Xiao Zhao, and found that she was looking at him, so he quickly turned his head away. Am I ugly? Xiao Zhao asked. Jiang Chen shook his head. You don't like me? Xiao Zhao continued to ask. Jiang Chen nodded and quickly shook his head. It should be said that Xiao Zhao is the type of girl Jiang Chen likes, with a thin and pretty face and a soft-spoken voice. Xiao Zhao's voice softened, I understand, this is your first time with a girl like me, right? This time Jiang Chen nodded clearly. Although Jia lives next door to him and is called Jiang Chen's brother, and they have had dinner together several times, Jiang Chen feels that that does not count as being together, especially this time. Meaning together. Although Jiang Chen didn't know Xiao Zhao's relationship with Fu Zong, or her relationship with Xiaoning, she was ding-dong in a sense. This was for sure, and he had never been alone with a ding-dong like this before. Live together. Jiang Chen thought to himself that this temptation was displayed there as it should be. As long as he took one step forward, he would become the beast in disguise that Jin Lily said. It was really only a few days after Jiang Chen became Mr. Jiang. Jiang Chen stood up and stammered, I'll sit outside. Xiao Zhao was a little anxious and said, if you go out now, I will be scolded to death by Mr. Fu. Jiang Chen was stunned and stood there, not knowing what to do. Come here, Xiao Zhao waved to him. Jiang Chen hesitated, and Xiao Zhao shouted, come here, you are a man, are you afraid that I will eat you? Jiang Chen took a deep breath to calm himself down and said, I'm not afraid that you will eat me. I'm afraid that I won't be able to control myself. You are very beautiful. Xiao Zhao chuckled, and his laughter was obviously much happier. If you can't control it, then you can't control it. What are you afraid of? I. Zhang Chen became a little anxious. I have a girlfriend. Well, Mr. Fu still has a wife, so what? Xiao Zhao looked at him provocatively and asked. He is him and I am me. Okay, I get it. I know you are a good man. Is that enough? Xiao Zhao asked jokingly. What do you want? Just keep standing like this. Zhang Chen was speechless again. He wondered why as soon as he arrived at this place and was with this girl, everything above his neck became dull. Come here, I promise not to seduce you, okay? Xiao Zhao smiled lightly. Zhang Chen walked over and stood next to her. Xiao Zhao suddenly stood up and stretched out his hand to push. Zhang Chen was caught off guard and fell onto the bed. Xiao Zhao giggled. When Zhang Chen remembered, Xiao Zhao held him down and said to him, turn around and let me massage you. In this way, this can be regarded as taking care of you. Zhang Chen thought to himself that just massaging like this was nothing. If he continued to struggle, it would seem that he was too rigid and petty. Zhang Chen turned over on the bed, with his back facing upwards. There was a cool fragrance on the pillow under his head. It matched Xiao Zhao very well and smelled so good that Zhang Chen simply buried his head in it. Xiao Zhao took off his shoes, then sat down next to him, and started massaging several acupuncture points on his back through his shirt. Zhang Chen was lying there, feeling that his whole body was stiff. Xiao Zhao smiled softly, patted him on the back, and cursed. Why are you nervous? Are you afraid that I will molest you? Zhang Chen said nothing. Xiao Zhao continued to massage his back, as hard as needed and as light as needed. Zhang Chen felt very comfortable. He slowly relaxed and fell asleep before he knew it. Even though he was already asleep and hazy, he could still feel a pair of small hands walking softly on his back. Zhang Chen slept for more than 3 hours. When he woke up, Xiao Zhao was lying next to him, staring at him. Zhang Chen suddenly opened his eyes, which shocked Xiao Zhao. She said, "Ah!" The ground exclaimed. Zhang Chen was confused by her, and Xiao Zhao shouted, "You're a scumbag, you're obviously asleep, why did you open your eyes?" Zhang Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry, and quickly said, "Okay, then I'll close it again." He really closed his eyes as he spoke. Xiao Zhao chuckled, "Okay, you can open your eyes now." Zhang Chen opened his eyes and asked, "What time is it?" "It's past 12 o'clock. Zhang Chen was shocked, so late. He quickly asked, "Is Mr. Fu still there?" Xiao Zhao smiled and said, "He has left long ago, and there are several entertainment events in the evening." Zhang Chen turned over and sat up from the bed and asked, "Then can I leave?" "Okay, my girlfriend will be angry if it's too late, right?" Xiao Zhao pouted. Zhang Chen took 2 steps and then remembered, he came back again. Xiao Zhao sat on the edge of the bed and looked at him. Zhang Chen asked, Am I, hey, I don't understand this, should I give you money?" "What did you do that you need to give me money?" Xiao Zhao asked with a smile. I wasted your time," Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao smiled and bent down. She said, "I'm kidding you, we don't charge money here, we get wages." "Get paid?" Zhang Chen was surprised, there are still people getting paid in this business? He thought for a while and understood that they should all be raised here by Mr. Fu. "Then I'm leaving," Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao said. Xiao Zhao sighed softly, "What a failure." Zhang Chen asked curiously, "What failed?" "You are the first man to fall asleep on my bed without doing anything, so my hands are sore from giving you a massage," Xiao Zhao said angrily. Zhang Chen was embarrassed. Standing there, he suddenly thought of a classic line for this occasion. "Xiao Zhao, I don't want to hurt you." Xiao Zhao glanced at him and said quietly, "If you don't want me, you have already hurt me. You make me feel that I am a piece of shit." After Xiao Zhao said it, he became a little angry, and Zhang Chen was embarrassed again. He didn't expect her to answer like this. This was completely unreasonable. Zhang Chen stood there speechless. Xiao Zhao, she glanced at him and chuckled, "I'm just teasing you." Xiao Zhao came over and took Zhang Chen's hand. "Let's go, I'll take you downstairs to take a taxi." When going down, we no longer go through the hotel, but through another door, through the 6-story residential building next to the hotel. From the time they left the room, to when they went downstairs, and finally when they stood on the roadside late at night, Xiao Zhao held Zhang Chen's hand. When the two of them stood, her head was still nestled on Zhang Chen's shoulder. The night wind blew, and Zhang Chen smelled a cool fragrance. For a moment, Zhang Chen mistakenly thought that they were really a pair, an intimate lover standing in the starry sky and the shadow of coconut trees. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 96. This Sunday, Jin Lily didn't come. Their company had something to do and went to Danzhou. Zhang Chen rode his motorcycle early in the morning and went to the building materials market and stone market. He would be on vacation in a few days, and he wanted to finalize some major materials before the vacation. Things went smoothly. As soon as those business owners heard that it was a renovation project for Wanghai Building, they immediately lowered the price to the lowest price. They didn't even ask for a deposit from Zhang Chen. They promised Zhang Chen that they would definitely arrive at the time specified in the contract. Zhang Chen had no use for the 5 cash checks Xiao Su handed him in his bag. This project has been widely spread not only among their decoration companies, but also among the building materials business owners. In addition, Zhang Chen has a good reputation and they are all old acquaintances. How can anyone not believe it? And when I saw the business card of the general manager of Panchi Company, I wanted to take this guy down and lock it in the safe. Everyone knows that as long as they can supply goods for the Wanghai Tower project, it doesn't matter whether they do other business next year. Zhang Chen, in turn, had to emphasize to these business owners that this contract must be kept confidential and not let others know. The other party laughed and said, "Am I stupid? Even if you don't say it, I know it, and I'm still afraid that others will come to pry me off." Zhang Chen told them that as long as you maintain quality and quantity and the price is reasonable, our cooperation will be rock solid and no one can pry it away. "That's good, that's good," the business owners said happily. As soon as he arrived at the stone market, Zhang Chen was the first to go to Boss Lin. Boss Lin's batch of Sichuan red marble was used by Zhang Chen when he was making a northeastern restaurant and spread in the lobby of the hotel. It was not enough, so I added some more. Boss Lin was naturally very happy to see Zhang Chen. He was as thin as a shrimp and kept moving in a small space. He brought water, cigarettes, a plate of watermelon, and asked Zhang Chen, "Do you want some ice cream here?" Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Can you sit quietly for a while?" Boss Lin chuckled, sat down on the sofa, and put his feet on the sofa. Zhang Chen told him that he was leaving after finishing the Northeastern restaurant project a year ago and would no longer work for Mr. Tan. Boss Lin, his face darkened for a moment and he asked urgently, "Are you going back to Zhejiang?" Zhang Chen shook his head and said he couldn't go back, he was still in Haikan. Boss Lin breathed a sigh of relief and said, "I was scared to death. Zhejiang is so far away. I thought we would never see each other." "Which company did you go to, Xiaojiang? You must have been poached by a bigger company bar." Zhang Chen said, "No, I went to a small company, but I went there to be the boss." Okay, just speak your mind. As the saying goes, It's better to be the head of a chicken than the tail of a phoenix. Hello, boss. Boss Lin patted his calf and said to Jiang Chen, if you need my help, just ask. I can trust you as a friend. As long as I can help you, I won't hesitate. Jiang Chen said he wanted to ask for your help. He took out the order form from his bag and handed it to Boss Lin. Boss Lin stared at the order form and asked, where is this used? Jiang Chen told him about Wang Heilu. My company is responsible for the Wang Heilu project. You did it all, Boss Lin's eyes bulged. Jiang Chen nodded. Boss Lin jumped up on the sofa, clenched his fists with both hands, and kept thrusting them into the sky. After finishing his excitement, he shouted, do you want all these stones to be ordered from me? Jiang Chen smiled and said, of course, I didn't promise you a long time ago, otherwise, what would I do here today? However, as I said before, the quality and quantity must be guaranteed, and the price must not be higher than others. How dare I? You still don't believe me, Mr. Lin, Boss Lin shouted with his eyes wide open. No wonder Boss Lin is so happy. The 2 and 3 projects of Wanghai Tower, whether they are hotels, restaurants, or shopping malls, are all projects with a lot of demand for marble. Moreover, they basically use imported high-end marble. The profits from this can be expected. Even thinking about it makes Boss Lin grin from ear to ear. At that time, the overall economy in Haikan was in a sluggish state, and there were very few projects under construction. Domestic stone materials, because everyone came from the same source, were relatively single in variety, including China red, Sichuan red, and sesame black. With so many types, the prices have been so low that there is no profit at all. As for imported stone, due to different channels and origins, the price is almost 1 per stone. Jiang Chen gave Boss Lin the order form, said a few more words, stood up and prepared to leave. Wait, Boss Lin shouted. He ran to the table, opened the drawer, took $3 from it, and made sure to give it to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen wouldn't ask for it. Boss Lin shouted, it's not for you, the Chinese New Year is coming soon, it's New Year's money for your child. Jiang Chen burst into laughter, I don't even have a wife, so how can I have children? Besides, this company is my own, and I have 30 shares. If I take money from outside, won't I be at odds with myself? Boss Lin was stunned, thinking about it, he was right, and he laughed. Jiang Chen said to him, by the way, let me remind you that in the future, when my people come to your place to do business, you cannot give them money. Do you understand? If they want to make things difficult for you, you can detain me. I know, Boss Lin nodded, and still wanted to give the money to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen glared at him, and Boss Lin said, okay, I know you are an iron rooster. Either you can't pull out a hair, or you can't get a hair in it go up. He walked back, threw the money into the drawer, took out a plastic bag from the cabinet behind him, took 5 35s from the cabinet, stuffed it into the plastic bag, handed it to Jiang Chen when he came back, and said to him, if you don't even accept the cigarettes, then you don't consider me a friend. Jiang Chen still refused, and Boss Lin became more serious. He said, well, you take away the cigarettes, take the order form back, and order it from another store. Then you won't suspect that I bribed you, right? Jiang Chen smiled and shook his head. He said okay, I'll take it. He took the cigarette and said goodbye to Boss Lin. Jiang Chen arrived at the Northeast restaurant, took 2 cigarettes, gave one to the second-hand man, and told him to put it away, don't let Lu Ligan rob him again. There was also another one, which he also gave to the second-hand man, and asked him to distribute it among the 5. Monitor, this project is over and everyone has worked hard. Damn it, stop being a bad guy and be a good guy. The second-rate guy looked at him and shouted, if you don't go, you won't go. Even if I give it to them, They won't dare to take it? It's better for you to go. You bastard, you didn't even give it away, how do you know they don't dare to take it? Go ahead, Zhang Chen said. The idiot then took the carton of cigarettes and left. After a while, he came back empty-handed and worried. Why, didn't you give away the cigarette? Zhang Chen asked. The second-rate guy shook his head. You're forced to give away the cigarettes. These bastards still know how to say thank you. There's one thing that's getting more and more wrong the more I think about it. What's the matter? Zhang Chen asked. The second-rate guy looked at him and asked, Instructor, are you leaving? Zhang Chen was startled. He didn't expect that this guy had a very sensitive sense of smell in some aspects. Considering that the Northeast Restaurant project has been completed and all the staff are now helping to clean up, the news that he was leaving probably came out in the past 2 days. President Tiantin would announce it in the company, and Zhang Chen nodded and told the second-hand boss that he was leaving and where he was going. Unexpectedly, the idiot's eyes turned red. He said, the instructor didn't even invite you, so you have to leave now. Zhang Chen looked at the second guy and felt a little moved in his heart. He said, I haven't left Heiken. If we want to meet, we can't meet every day. Well, no matter what, let me treat you today, Erhuo said anxiously. Thank you, thank you. I accept the commander's wishes, but I really don't have this hobby. When Zhang Chen said this, he thought of Xiao Zhao. It's so troublesome, so I won't look for it anymore, the second-rate guy shouted. If you don't look for him, Mr. Tan won't let you go. Zhang Chen thought to himself that according to Mr. Tan's character, taking care of the second-rate guy would definitely help him get married and start a business. I was raised by force, that's right. She scolds me every day for not finding a girlfriend, said the second-rate guy. Zhang Chen looked around and said to the second guy, I'm leaving. Please treat these people better. They are all very good skilled workers. If I hadn't promised Mr. Tan, I wouldn't have any people in the company. Dig, I'll take all these with me. The second-rate guy made a sad face and sighed, oh, if it weren't for Uncle Tan, I would have left with you. Zhang Chen almost laughed. From the second guy's tone, it seemed that he was taking care of Mr. Tan. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 97. Early in the morning, while Zhang Chen was still lying in bed, he heard Lu Ligan and Yilin's mother shouting downstairs, seemingly arguing about something. Yilin's mother was just discharged from the hospital yesterday. What were the two of them arguing about so early this morning? Zhang Chen quickly got up, walked to the corridor and looked down. He saw Lu Ligan and Yilin's mother standing at the door of the utility room. Yilin's mother wanted to load something on the tricycle, but Lu Ligan refused to let her. Pole, what's the noise about? Zhang Chen shouted. Lu Ligan looked up at Zhang Chen and shouted, I'm going to die. This Hainan woman is going out to sell cassette stoves today. If I hadn't seen her stop her, she would have gone out by now. Zhang Chen was startled and quickly ran downstairs. The scars on Yilin's mother's hands and face have not yet healed. She will get up early in the morning to sell cassette stoves. She said that the Chinese New Year is approaching and these things are easy to sell. She is carrying boxes of them to the car. When Lu Ligan saw the stove and gas tank upstairs, he quickly ran down and told her, you must not sell these things. I would rather throw them away. Yilin's mother was puzzled. She said, this thing is very good, why should it be thrown away? She insisted on selling it. One of them wanted to move it to the car, and the other wanted to stop it, so they started arguing. Zhang Chen ran downstairs. He also stood by Lu Ligan's side and told Yilin's mother, don't sell these things. It's too dangerous. Zhang Chen said and pointed at Yilin's mother's face and hands. Yilin's mother shook her head and said, I'm fine here. Nothing is wrong at all. It's those doctors who don't understand me. I must stay here. I'm here in the hospital, and look, I can ride a bike again today. Lu Ligan begged, Mother Yilin, you can sell other things, but you can't sell this. It's almost the Chinese New Year. What if you hit me again? No, 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 bang, I already understand it. Yilin's mother kept shaking her head. She explained to Lu Ligan and Zhang Chen for a long time before they understood that last time, she was riding through a construction site, and the water from upstairs poured down, soaking all the things in her car. There were many people on the other side. She couldn't make any noise, so she had to walk away, find a sunny place, take these things out of the car, and open them to dry. Someone happened to come over and ask how to use this cassette stove, so I tried to show him. That jar is still hot to the touch. I clicked it twice but it didn't light up. When I clicked it a third time, it exploded with a bang. Yilin's mother laughed and said, I understand it now. This thing cannot be exposed to the sun this time. I will sell it under the tree. Yilin's mother was talking about the explosion of the cassette stove. She became happier and happier as she talked about it, as if it was something interesting. However, the one who was injured was not herself at all. Lu Ligan and Zhang Chen were also infected and started laughing. Look here, when I try again, I know how to use a towel to cool it down first, and everything will be fine. Yilin's mother said, kicking a plastic bucket next to her feet. There was half a bucket of water and a towel in it. Lu Ligan and Zhang Chen failed to defeat Yilin's mother in the end and were defeated. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan said, forget it, if you stop her now, she will still go out and sell them after we leave, unless you move all these stoves and pots and throw them away. Besides, this thing isn't that scary. Gui Lao's company has sold so many of them in Haikan, and we have used it ourselves so many times, isn't it okay? Lu Ligan shook his head and said, I didn't expect this Hainan woman to be so stubborn when she was stubborn. Even if I wanted to throw it away now, she would definitely not let me. Lu Ligan felt that he couldn't stop it, so he had to let Yilin's mother show him the operation again and again. Yilin's mother filled the cans and ignited them, filled the cans and ignited them, and tried 5 times with quick hands and feet. Every time there was a click, Yilin's mother smiled at them, is everything okay here? Zhang Chen thought about it and said, take the half tank of gas we used last time and ask her to use this when trying it on others. Lu Ligan thought it made sense. He hurriedly found the half can and gave it to Yilin's mother. He told her that if anyone else tries it, use this. Yilin's mother knew that they would no longer stop him, so she agreed. Back in the room, Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan said that I would not come back to eat at night. What for? Lu Ligan smiled. You, Zhang Chen scolded. Mr. Tan said he wanted to hold a farewell party for me tonight and booked 2 tables at Nance Huang. Oh, that's good, can I go rub it in? Lu Ligan shouted. Okay, you know them all anyway, just the main people in the company, as well as the second-hand guy and Mr. Li. Zhang Chen said. Forget it, I still want to eat with you at work. I'm drooling after hearing what you said about Xiao Zhao, Lu Ligan said, but I also have dinner with beautiful women at night. Who? Lu Yun. You too, are you in love? What the hell, this is the authentic Peking University, how could you fall in love with me, a fake Zhejiang University? I'm their boss. I can't hold it anymore. I still want to open a golf course after the year. Come to me to discuss marketing and see if I can. What do you think? Lu Ligan said. The 2 of them went downstairs, and the tricycle and Yilin's mother could no longer be seen in the yard. It's so fast, Zhang Chen sighed. Yes, Zhang Chen, should we consider finding a hard-working Hainanese woman to be our wife? She is too damn hard-working, Lu Ligan shouted. Okay, you try it first. I think the shop owner's daughter is pretty good. Zhang Chen smiled and rode out on his motorcycle. The spring festival will be celebrated in a few days. Haikan suddenly became empty. There were fewer people and cars on the streets. There were only 2 places crowded with people, one was Xiuying Pier and the other was the airport. Chen Qiang, Lin Yiyan, and Li Yong went back, Lu Yun also went back, and Mr. Xia and Lao Bao also returned to Beijing. Jin Lili was the only one left in the company. Zhang Chen and Lu Ligan moved to Jin Lili's place. Chen naturally slept in Jin Lili's room, and Lu Ligan slept on the sofa in the living room outside. Xiao Su sent a message to Zhang Chen, informing him to have dinner at 7 o'clock. Zhang Chen and Jin Lili said, "You and Zhuangzi can eat by yourself, and I am going to make the last report before the Spring Festival with Mr. Fu." Jin Lili drew a form for him, clearly writing down the materials that Zhang Chen had ordered in the past few days, from quantity to price and arrival date. Zhang Chen listed the number of workers to be recruited after the holiday, the time and the date when construction would start. The progress was also listed, and Jin Lili made another progress chart for him. "It's up to you to recruit people," Zhang Chen said. "No problem, I've already said hello, and I'll start reporting on the newspaper on the 8th day of the lunar month. In this way, you can recruit enough people before the 15th just by picking and choosing among the people who are stranded in Haikan and have not returned," Lu Ligan said. Lu Ligan and his newspaper, who are only 25 years old, have stopped publishing and will not resume publication until the 8th day of the Lunar New Year. From the 8th day of the Lunar New Year to the 15th day of the first month, all advertising prices are discounted in half, so Lu Ligan suggested that Zhang Chen start publishing at this time. When it comes to recruiting workers, the ones that can be recruited at this time are basically migrant workers who have no money or have not been paid to go home and are stranded on the island. The biggest advantage is that these people are skilled workers and are familiar with the situation in Haikan. Moreover, because they have no money in their pockets, they have a strong desire to find new jobs. Just after 6 o'clock, Zhang Chen set off from the financial garden. He estimated that it would take about 40 minutes to get to the hotel from here. When he got to the street, Zhang Chen realized that he had thought wrong. The streets were empty today, and even the traffic lights were not running. The ground flashed yellow and stopped changing. Zhang Chen almost had a smooth journey and arrived there in half the time it usually took. There were still many luxury cars parked in front of the hotel, and it seemed that many diners had not gone back yet. After Zhang Chen parked the car, he didn't know whether he should go in through the hotel or the residential building. Zhang Chen thought for a while and decided to go in from the hotel. The waiter who saw him last time was still there. Seeing Zhang Chen, she smiled and nodded. Zhang Chen asked her, "Is Mr. Fu here?" "Not yet, you go up and wait for him," the waiter said, and took Zhang Chen to the backyard. Zhang Chen said thank you to her, and I went up by myself. The waiter nodded, turned, and left. Zhang Chen went up the stainless steel spiral staircase and knocked on the door twice. After a while, the door opened and it was Xiaoning. Xiaoning smiled at him and said, "Here we come, let him go. Go in and close the door." Xiaoning turned around and shouted, "Xiao Zhao." Xiao Zhao came out of his room and blushed slightly when he saw it was Zhang Chen. Xiaoning giggled and entered her room. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 98. Xiao Zhao asked Zhang Chen to sit down at the tea table. She was beside him, warming the pot, filling the tea, moistening the tea, brewing, watering the pot, warming the cup, transporting the pot, and pouring the tea. With her hands, Zhang Chen looked at it gently and skillfully. "It is pleasing to the eye." Xiao Zhao saw Zhang Chen staring at her hand, smiled, and cursed lightly, "What are you looking at?" Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Your hands are so beautiful. I am a painter. Do you know what is the most difficult to draw when we draw people?" "I don't know." Xiao Zhao shook his head. "Hands and eyes, once these two places are painted, the person becomes vivid," Zhang Chen said. When Xiao Zhao heard what Zhang Chen said, he put his hand in front of Zhang Chen's eyes and said coquettishly, "Show it to you, show it to you, do you like it?" Zhang Chen said honestly, "I like it." Xiao Zhao retracted his hand and said with a naughty smile, I won't give it to you. She brought the tea to Zhang Chen, and Zhang Chen said, drink it too. Xiao Zhao sat down opposite Zhang Chen and said, okay, I'll drink with you. The two of them drank tea and chatted. The shyness just now disappeared and they gradually relaxed. Zhang Chen asked Xiao Zhao, aren't you going back? Go back, Mr. Fu has already bought us the tickets to go back tomorrow, Xiao Zhao said. Zhang Chen felt a little empty in his heart for no reason, and asked, then will you come again next year? Xiao Zhao looked at him and asked, do you want me to come? Zhang Chen thought to himself that even if Xiao Zhao didn't come, Mr. Fu would definitely arrange other little things here. Every time he came to discuss work, instead of being with other little things, it would be better for Xiao Zhao. Zhang Chen nodded. Hope. Xiao Zhao said happily, then I will come. Xiao Ning's door opened. Xiao Ning told them that Mr. Fu had arrived. She walked toward the door. Xiao Zhao quickly stood up. When Zhang Chen saw this, he also stood up and walked over. Xiao Ning stood at the door for a while, then opened the door. Mr. Fu walked to the door just in time. He handed the eldest brother to Xiao Ning and nodded with Zhang Chen. Are you already there? Zhang Chen said, I calculated the time to go out, but today, I only spent half the time as usual. Mr. Fu sat down at the seat where Xiao Zhao had just sat. Xiao Zhao retreated to his room first. After Xiao Ning served Mr. Fu tea, he also retreated to the room. Zhang Chen told Mr. Fu about his market visits these days, then took out the list that Jin Lily made for him and handed it to Mr. Fu. Mr. Fu looked at it and praised, this is good. It's clear at a glance, I'll give it to the old woman later. Zhang Chen then handed the schedule to Mr. Fu and told him his plans for the next year. So, after the 15th day of the first lunar month, we can start work, Mr. Fu asked. Zhang Chen said yes. At that time, the mall did not have a lot of customers and construction was more convenient. Mr. Fu said yes, it would be best if it could be done so quickly. By the way, where are you recruiting workers? I'm going to put it on site. There must be a temporary office on site. Let's put it there. It will be convenient for people to find us. Besides, the company is in Mr. Fu's home. I don't think it's good to have a lot of people coming in and out. It's not good either. It's not necessary, Zhang Chen said. That's right, you thought about this very carefully. I didn't even consider this. I forgot to tell you that the old woman is afraid of noise. After the construction site starts, the office will be placed on the construction site. It's good. I asked Xiao Su, let's make a temporary place for you first. Mr. Fu said, stopped, thought for a moment, and then said, let's do this. On the 7th day of the lunar month, you arrange a time to visit my house and meet the old woman. You also seize the time to move there. Our company will be officially opened. Zhang Chen said yes. By the way, that Lin Zhao, he also lives in the company. He knows a little bit about electricians, so you arrange for him to do electrician work at the construction site. If he doesn't obey, you beat him. Don't be polite, Mr. Fu and Zhang Chen said, and when he said this, Zhang Chen felt that Mr. Fu had been looking at him furtively. Zhang Chen's heart skipped a beat. He now understood why Mr. Fu made such an arrangement, asking him to live in his own home. There was an old woman in charge of the finances at home, and there was someone watching at the construction site. He said he was an electrician, but in fact he was a legal person of the company. After all, I was still worried, so I arranged around-the-clock surveillance. Zhang Chen sneered in his heart, but still had a smile on his face. He thought, what's the point? You just keep an eye on me from blind spots, so what? Time will tell. Zhang Chen looked at Mr. Fu and even felt a little pity for him. This person looked very strong on the surface, but he was actually fierce and cruel. Subconsciously, he had no sense of security at all. He probably couldn't trust anyone 100%. Zhang Chen said yes, I will follow Mr. Fu's arrangements. After eating, Xiaoning and Xiao Zhao led the two men into their own rooms. As soon as he entered the door, Xiao Zhao asked Zhang Chen, "What do you want to do today? Continue the massage or sleep?" Zhang Chen looked at her, and she looked at Zhang Chen boldly. They both couldn't help but laugh. After getting familiar with it, Zhang Chen no longer had anything to be nervous about, and he became more casual when talking. He smiled and said, "I don't even want to." Xiao Zhao's eyes lit up, "Bad guy, you want to hurt me?" Zhang Chen quickly said, "No, no, let's just sit and chat. If possible, I would rather go out and sit and drink tea together." "It's too hurtful," Xiao Zhao cursed lightly. "What's wrong?" Zhang Chen asked curiously. "A woman, you can obviously sleep with her, but you choose to drink tea. Think about how failed this woman is," Xiao Zhao said with resentment and hatred. "No," Zhang Chen shook his head and said to Xiao Zhao seriously, "I just don't like this arrangement. Really, you are very nice. If I didn't have a girlfriend and we met on another occasion, I would definitely go crazy. Chase you." Xiao Zhao pursed his lips, "After all, you still dislike me." "No, no," Zhang Chen became anxious and quickly defended, "How could I dislike you? I mean, what I want to say is, well, I can't even explain myself." "Okay, let's not talk about it." Xiao Zhao pushed Zhang Chen to sit down on the sofa, and sat down next to him. His head naturally rested on his shoulder. Zhang Chen smelled that feeling again. Cool aroma. Xiao Zhao sighed softly and said, "Actually, I know a little bit." "What do you know?" he asked me. Zhang Chen knew that the person Xiao Zhao was talking about at this time should be referring to Mr. Fu. Zhang Chen asked curiously, "What did he ask you?" "He asked me if you like me," Xiao Zhao said. Zhang Chen felt nauseous for a while. It was indeed an all-round surveillance. He even had to master this. No wonder Xiao Zhao was so nervous when she said she wanted to go out last time. It turned out that she had a mission. "What did you tell him?" Zhang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao smiled and said, "I bragged to him that you like me very much." Zhang Chen couldn't help laughing and said, "You are not bragging, I like you." Zhang Chen became coy again. He did not continue, but asked, what was his reaction? He was very satisfied. He said he didn't like people without weaknesses. He also said that this person must be difficult to deal with. Xiao Zhao said, looked at Zhang Chen again, and said with a smile, "Why do I feel that you have no weaknesses at all, difficult?" Zhang Chen was greatly embarrassed and didn't know how to answer this, but he understood that this lively work meal was actually full of hidden murderous intentions. The two people were talking. Zhang Chen heard the sound of the door next door, and then heard the voices of Mr. Fu and Xiaoning. Then the door opened and closed. Mr. Fu seemed to have left, and Xiaoning returned to his room. "Mr. Fu is gone?" Zhang Chen asked. "Yes," Xiaoning said, "he talks a lot, but he is actually a quick shooter." "Why, you have to leave too, right?" Xiao Zhao sneered. When Xiao Zhao said this, Zhang Chen was embarrassed to say he was leaving immediately. He remembered something and asked, "By the way, every time Mr. Fu comes, how does Xiaoning know that he is coming?" "What's the point?" "There is an intercom phone in Xiaoning's room that connects to the hotel below. When Mr. Fu arrives, the waiter below will call her. Mr. Fu doesn't like girls and dresses very casually." Explain. "Damn it, what kind of hobby is this? A person who claims that this person must be difficult to deal with doesn't like girls and dresses very casually." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 99. They sat for a while. Jiang Chen looked at the time and saw that it was almost 10 o'clock. Then he stood up and said goodbye. Xiao Zhao still held his hand and sent him downstairs. When they got downstairs, she found that Jiang Chen came on a motorcycle. Shouted excitedly, "Can I take a ride in your car?" Jiang Chen said yes. There was only one helmet. Jiang Chen put it on Xiao Zhao and got in the car. Xiao Zhao hugged Jiang Chen's waist from behind. Even through a piece of clothing, Jiang Chen could feel the softness of her hands. "Where to go?" Jiang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao pointed in the direction to the city, "This way." On Zhenfu Road at night, coconut trees were swaying overhead, and there were few people and cars on the road. Xiao Zhao kept urging, "Hurry up, hurry up." When Jiang Chen hit the gas, Xiao Zhao let out a scream. She hugged Jiang Chen's waist tightly with her hands, her body pressed against Jiang Chen's body, and her round helmet pressed against the back of Jiang Chen's head. The cold night wind blew against his face, and pieces of Jiang Chen's hair stood up and fell backward, rustling on Xiao Zhao's helmet, and Xiao Zhao giggled. The entire provincial road was almost at its end, and when we reached the triangle area, the surrounding area began to become lively and the lights became brighter. Jiang Chen stopped at the intersection. Opposite was the Donghu recruitment wall that Jiang Chen was familiar with. On the right was Boa South Road and on the left was Haixia Road. Jiang Chen asked loudly, "Left or right?" Xiao Zhao looked at it. On the right was a group of low houses with much dimmed lights. On the left, he could see tall buildings at a glance. The lights on the tops of the buildings washed out half of the sky. Xiao Zhao shouted, "Left, left, let's go to the left." Jiang Chen restarted and turned onto Haixia Road. Haixia Road was still busy with traffic at this time of night. Jiang Chen slowed down the speed of the car. Xiao Zhao did not shout to go faster, but looked at both sides curiously. When he saw Wanghai Mall and Wanghai International Hotel, he shouted, "Isn't Mr. Fu right here?" Jiang Chen replied yes. Xiao Zhao sighed, "It's so big and advanced, no wonder." Everyone knew the meaning of no wonder. Jiang Chen didn't ask and just kept riding forward. He planned to cross the South Bridge and then turn around, or go along Longkan North Road to Binhai Avenue and then go back. Xiao Zhao suddenly shouted. She pointed to the road sign in front and asked, "Airport Road? Is this the airport? Should I come here to take a flight tomorrow?" Jiang Chen answered her, "Yes, the airport is on this road. Turn left, let's go see the airport." "I've never been on a plane before." Xiao Zhao patted his back and shouted. Jiang Chen turned left and turned to Airport Road. What he was embarrassed to tell her was that "I have never flown on a plane. At least you can get on the plane tomorrow. I haven't even seen what a plane ticket looks like." When they arrived at the intersection of Daying Road and Airport Road, Xiao Zhao exclaimed like Jiang Chen when they first arrived here. Jiang Chen was also a little surprised. The whole city seemed to be almost empty of people. Why was it still so lively here? They arrived at the airport. The waiting hall was on the roadside. The door was closed and there was no one inside. Only the door on the exit side was still open and the lights were still on. There must be planes that had not landed yet. There were still people standing in twos and threes at the door, with some people picking up guests. Xiao Zhao lay on the glass and looked inside. She asked Jiang Chen, "Will I be waiting for the plane here tomorrow?" Jiang Chen didn't know either, but he thought that since it was a terminal, it should be the right one. He nodded. Xiao Zhao looked at it for a while and felt a little disappointed. She said that it was not much different from the train station, but it was a little cleaner than the train station. Jiang Chen almost laughed, but thinking about it, Haikan Airport at that time was not as big as Guangzhou Railway Station. "I'll treat you to hot pot," Jiang Chen and Xiao Zhao said. Xiao Zhao was so excited, "Really? Just where I passed by?" Zhang Chen nodded. Go quickly, Xiao Zhao urged. The two found a table and sat down. The boss took the menu. Xiao Zhao suddenly started talking to the boss in Sichuan dialect. Only then did Zhang Chen know that Xiao Zhao was from Sichuan. She told Zhang Chen that she was from De County. Yes, do you know De County? I know, it's in the Daba mountain area, Zhang Chen said. How do you know? Xiao Zhao asked in surprise. You also know about Daba mountain. Have you been there? Zhang Chen shook his head. Zhang Chen knew Daxian because the prototype of Luo Zongli's father was from Daxian. Luo Zongli worked in a team there and had deep feelings for it. In his memoirs, he mentioned it many times. He visited Daxian and Daba mountain, and later he painted a series of paintings of Daba mountain. Not only him, but also Zhu Yiyang, Zhou Chenya, He Duoling, etc. from the Sichuan Academy of Fine Arts, all painted paintings related to that area. It can be said that all the painters at that time, especially those who painted oil paintings, knew about Daxian and Dabishan. Zhang Chen wanted to tell Xiao Zhao this, but of course he couldn't explain clearly. He could only say that he had heard people talk about it. Zhang Chen looked at Xiao Zhao and suddenly felt that she was very similar to the girl in He Dueling's The Spring Breeze Has Awakened. The girl who sat with a cow and a dog on the dry grass and stared into the distance had grown up and now arrived far away. From the painting to the person, Zhang Chen felt a sense of affection and couldn't help but shake Xiao Zhao's hand. Xiao Zhao looked at him and then at his own hands. Remembering what Zhang Chen said, Xiao Zhao smiled softly. Take it. This night, Xiao Zhao ate a lot and talked a lot. She told Zhang Chen that she had never eaten hot pot since arriving in Hainan. She only had seafood every day. Although seafood was delicious, it was not as satisfying as hot pot. You rarely come out at night? Zhang Chen asked. Xiao Zhao shook her head. She said that she almost never went out, so Mr. Fu asked them to stay in that house. Zhang Chen was curious about how they got to Hainan, and Xiao Zhao told him that Wanghai Restaurant hired them there to recruit workers. They were originally supposed to be waiters, but when they got here, Mr. Fu took a fancy to them and arranged to go there. When they finished eating, it was almost 12 o'clock. Zhang Chen gave the helmet to Xiao Zhao. Xiao Zhao shook his head and refused, but Zhang Chen didn't wear it. Xiao Zhao got in the car and no longer urged Zhang Chen to hurry up, but hugged him. His waist and face were pressed against Zhang Chen's back, so motionless that Zhang Chen thought she was asleep. Xiao Zhao, Zhang Chen called out. Yeah, Xiao Zhao responded. Zhang Chen stopped talking and continued riding silently. They arrived at the hotel and got out of the car. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao said, "You go up, I'm going back too." Xiao Zhao was stunned for a moment and asked, "Aren't you going up?" Before Zhang Chen finished speaking, she said "Oh" again, her eyes dimmed, and she nodded quickly. Xiao Zhao walked to the stairs and looked back. Zhang Chen was still standing there. Xiao Zhao suddenly ran back, kissed Zhang Chen on the cheek, then turned around and ran upstairs. Zhang Chen wiped the area where Xiao Zhao had just kissed with his sleeve, then got in the car and went back. Zhang Chen returned to the financial garden and knocked on the door. After a while, the door opened. The moment the door opened, the music in the door came out and almost knocked Zhang Chen down. Lu Ligan and Jin Lily was singing karaoke with the sound turned up loudly. Fortunately, the soundproofing of the house was very good. When Zhang Chen was outside, he could only hear faint sounds. Jin Lily sniffed and asked, "What's the smell?" Zhang Chen suddenly became nervous. He thought Jin Lily smelled Xiao Zhao's cool aroma on him. Jin Lily came closer to Zhang Chen and smelled it, then asked, "Are you going to eat hot pot?" Zhang Chen secretly breathed a sigh of relief and nodded. "Bringing a girl?" Zhang Chen nodded honestly and asked strangely, "How do you know?" "Humph, it would be weird if Hainan men didn't bring girls with them. If they don't drink flower wine, they won't know how to drink, Jin Lily said disdainfully. Jiang Chen breathed a sigh of relief again. It turned out that Jin Lily believed that he had been with Mr. Fu all night. It was so humming ups and downs. When Lu Ligan saw that Jiang Chen was back, he held the microphone with one hand and waved to Jiang Chen with the other. What he was singing was Volga Trackers. Jin Lily scolded, "This bastard, he sang a few songs I have been laughing and joking since I was little, even pulling the boat from Volgara to Yongcheng." Jiang Chen laughed, and Jin Lily slapped him on the back, "Go and take a shower quickly, it smells so bad. Come here after you take a shower, and let this Volgara boatman see how many ups and downs you have gone through. If you don't come back, my head will explode from his shouting." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 100. They didn't go to work the next day. Jiang Chen and Jin Lily felt very relaxed. Jin Lily's bed was big and soft, with Simmons underneath. It was much more comfortable than Jiang Chen's single bed, and even better than theirs in Yongcheng. The brown shed bed is quite comfortable. Jiang Chen lay on this bed, feeling a little sorry for Jin Lily. Only then did he understand that Jin Lily went to their shabby room every weekend, squeezed into that hard shabby bed, and had to worry all the time. Lu Ligan, who was sitting across the bed sheet, was actually wronged. The two of them were exhausted from tossing on this comfortable bed. Several times, Jiang Chen fell into a trance and felt like the person next to him was Xiao Zhao. He was startled and woke up, scaring him so much that he broke into a cold sweat. Fortunately, Jin Lily didn't notice at all, she was already exhausted. The two of them slept until noon the next day before getting up. When they walked outside, they found that Lu Ligan was no longer there. The keys to Jiang Chen's motorcycle that he had placed on the coffee table were also missing. They wondered where Lu Ligan was showing off again. The two of them opened the refrigerator. Even when Mr. Xia and Lao Bao were around, they rarely cooked at the company. The refrigerator was empty, with only noodles and eggs. They were too lazy to go out, so they cooked 2 bowls of noodles. After eating the noodles, Jiang Chen sat on the sofa and watched TV. When he heard Jin Lily calling him, Jiang Chen walked over. The two of them cuddled together and stood in Jin Lily's office and looked outside. They saw Xiu Ying on the pier. It was still crowded with people carrying large and small bags waiting for the boat. Both of them felt a little relieved in their hearts. They felt that they were finally no longer one of the crowded people on the pier. Even if they went back now, with their income, they would not have to work in the winter and would still be sweating profusely. Go squeeze boats, cars, and trains. Their route map will be from Haikan Airport to Baiyun Airport in Guangzhou, then transfer from Baiyun Airport to Jianqiao Airport in Hangzhou, and then take a 4-hour bus ride to get home. It was already dark outside. Jiang Chen and Jin Lily were hungry, but they decided to wait for Lu Ligan to come back before going out to eat together. When Lu Ligan came back, he brought back a lot of vegetables and food and filled the refrigerator. Jiang Chen and Jin Lily immediately decided not to go out. Jiang Chen immediately started cooking. Lu Ligan told them, "I have to buy some more tomorrow, and I'm afraid I won't be able to buy anything for the Chinese New Year in a few days." Jin Lily said, "Yes, you can buy as much as you can. If one refrigerator can't fit in it, I can buy another refrigerator to ensure that you satisfy your desire to buy." After the three of them finished eating, Jin Lily shouted, "I am a woman and have priority. I don't wash the dishes." Jiang Chen and Lu Li pull hammer, scissors, paper. Jiang Chen lost and could only wash the dishes obediently and wait until he did. After finishing the bowl, he came out of the kitchen. The karaoke outside started again. Lu Ligan took the microphone and started singing again. On the second and third days that followed, it was still like this. When Jiang Chen and Jin Lily got up, Lu Ligan was riding his motorcycle. He didn't know where he was going, so he waited until dark before coming back and brought back a lot of things. He even went to where they lived and moved the cassette stove and gas tank over, and they built the side stove again. Zhang Chen and Jin Lili asked Lu Ligan where he had been during the day. Lu Ligan smiled and told them that he was wandering around. There are many stores now with big discounts. Did I go shopping? Zhang Chen and Jin Lili felt that Lu Ligan's answer was sneaky. Neither of them believed it, but they were too lazy to care about him. As a man, it doesn't matter what he does. He just wants to sell, so there must be someone who likes him. Ah! On the afternoon of the 29th day of the new year, Zhang Chen and Jin Lili stood looking at Jiuying Pier. The number of people finally became sparse and the pier became empty. It's no wonder that they were still stranded at Jiuying Pier at this time. Unless he is from Guangdong or Guangxi, even if he crosses the sea and rushes slowly, it will be difficult for him to catch up with the New Year's Eve dinner. Zhang Chen looked at the people on the dock and was startled. He shouted, "I know where Lu Ligan went." "Where have you gone?" Jin Lili asked. "This guy must have gone to the airport to wait for Tan Shahen. He told me many times that Tan Shahen was coming during the spring festival," Zhang Chen said. "Did Tan Shahen reply to him?" "No, but he wrote to Tan Shahen and asked her to come over during the spring festival." "That's no use. I haven't even replied to my letter. Even if I come, I don't know what day it is." "Yes, so this kid goes to the airport every day to wait," Zhang Chen said. Jin Lili thought of the boxes of coconuts with dates engraved on them under Lu Ligan's bed. She also felt that Lu Ligan would do this. This bastard was no more serious than anyone else when he was not serious, but when he became serious, "When I'm doing this, I'll be so serious that I'm scared to death." The two felt that the matter was getting serious, and they discussed it over and over again. Finally, Jin Lili said, "No, I have to call Tan Shahen to ask if she has come out. Otherwise, when will this kid wait?" "Can you find her?" Zhang Chen asked. "I couldn't find her. Every time I called her, her mother answered the phone. When she heard it was my voice, she hung up," Jin Lili said. "What should we do?" "No matter what, I'm willing to risk it all." As Jin Lili said this, she took Zhang Chen to the office and dialed Tan Shahen's home phone number. Jin Lili put the phone on speakerphone and the call went through. The voice of Tan Shahen's mother came on the phone. "Auntie, this is Lily. Don't hang up the phone. If you dare to hang up, I will fall out with you. I promise to come downstairs to your house and scold you for 3 days and 3 nights. I will scold you in any unpleasant way." Jin Lili said that the person on the phone was stunned, but did not hang up. Jin Lili continued, "Auntie, ask Zhen Zhen to answer the phone. You can listen to what we say." There was a hum sound on the phone, and after a while, Tan Shahen's voice came through. Jin Lili quickly called out, "Zhen Zhen, are you okay?" Tan Shahen was stunned for a moment when she heard Jin Lili's voice, and then said lukewarmly, "It's okay, how are you?" "We are good," Jin Lili said excitedly. "Oh, it's fine. I wish you all the best. Is there anything else?" "It's okay. I'll die," Tan Shahen said. Jin Lili was stunned for a moment, then remembered something and asked urgently, "Zhen Zhen, when will you come to Hainan? Zanzi goes to the airport every day to wait for you." "Why did I come to Hainan? Why is he waiting for me? What a joke, why do you think of me now?" Tan Shahen sneered. "Hey, Zhen Zhen, what do you mean? Not interesting." No, what you said. Go and ask Lu Ligan." Tan Shahen hung up the phone as she spoke. Zhang Chen and Jin Lili looked at each other in shock. Jin Lili cursed, "Damn, Tan Shahen took some medicine? Is it because her mother is always around and she can't say anything?" Zhang Chen asked. Jin Lili thought it was possible, but after thinking about it, she shook her head. Jin Lili said, "You don't know who Tan Shahen is? How can her mother control her?" Zhang Chen thought about it too. The two of them thought about it for a long time, but they couldn't figure out the reason for Tan Shahan's inexplicable behavior. However, one thing is certain, that is, Tan Shahan had no intention of coming to Hainan at all, let alone coming to celebrate the Spring Festival. The Pole is really pitiful, said Jin Lily. Zhang Chen also shook his head. They all thought of Lu Ligan at the airport, waiting with hope every day, and then coming back disappointed every day. Do you want to tell him this phone call? Jin Lily asked Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen shook his head, nodded, and shook his head again. Jin Lily said anxiously, what the hell are you talking about, do you want it or not? Zhang Chen sighed, I don't know, this idiot is so obsessed with face. He even refuses to tell us when he goes to the airport every day. What will happen if you talk to him about the phone call? Forget it, Jin Lily quickly shook her head, I dare not say it. The two finally decided not to say anything and just pretend they didn't know anything. Anyway, if they survive today, tomorrow will be the New Year's Eve, and Lu Ligan himself should be worried. When Lu Ligan came back in the evening, the two of them didn't ask where Lu Ligan was. Lu Ligan looked a little lonely and became taciturn. After dinner, he rushed to wash the dishes instead of singing Hey Hey Joe. Hey. Zhang Chen and Jin Lily looked at each other and shook their heads slightly.